Back again, another sample video, this one about the amazing Nas and all different samples of his from the 90s. There's some amazing stuff on this one. All the music you're hearing in the background are my own beats. Streaming them on any service, download them from Bandcamp in the link. If you sign up as a member, you'll get all those albums for free, as well as exclusive members only videos without me talking over them. I've got a new service available where I can create instrumentals or acapellas from any track at all. Just click the link in description. So let's check out what the first track is.
Divinity and humanity touched in a manger when God became man to live as one.
What a track that is. Absolutely brilliant. I just love how Primo has found some bird noises, so that's just a sound effects record and he's just used that to put behind the beat. Just works so well. And then a really obscure religious record, and the story behind that is that Primo almost threw that record away without even listening to it, thinking that it would just be nothing on it at all that's worth using. Boy was he wrong. Really well chopped, that one. Yeah, absolute classic track from the 90s, that one, really good. Let's check out what the next one is.
Yeah. Hey, yo, Black, it's time. Word, it's time, man. It's time, man. Rappers are monkey flipping with the funky rhythm I be kicking. Musician, inflicting composition of pain. I'm like Scarface sniffing cocaine.
Primo yet again using mad noises over the top. That Flight Time, Danald Byrd, absolutely amazing jazz musician, been sampled many times, and that's the opening track on his album, which is just a pure jazz album. And then Joe Chambers as well. As far as I'm aware, that is the only track of his that's actually been sampled, although he's done over 20 albums. So any producers, you might want to have a listen to some of his other albums. I bet there's some good stuff on there to use for beats. But yeah, New York State of Mind, absolutely great track off Nas's debut album. Let's see what the next one is.
But who else could it be? Sugar D's, I mark vans parked in the dark. Knocks, where's your heart? Hustle or starve. They bust a Yui, I jog.
What a sample that is. That has only very recently been discovered after all these years as well. So 24 years that sample's been a mystery. Another great use of a piano hook by Richard Clayderman, and that's not actually his real name, he's a French composer, real name Philippe Pagès. Now he's listed in the Guinness Records as the most successful pianist in the world. Not exactly sure what they mean by that, but he's done over 200 albums. So, great sample that one. Primo and Nas working together yet again on a classic. Let's check what the next one is.
I'm Pete, watching Gandhi till I'm charged and writing in my book of rhymes. All the words past the margin, the whole of mic I'm throbbing, mechanical movement.
Another great track off Illmatic album. This one with the legend Pete Rock on production. Again, chopping up a piano from the legendary Ahmad Jamal trio. Absolutely love his music. That album, The Awakening as well. Heavily sampled. So many different piano parts. But Ahmad Jamal, absolute legend. Unfortunately passed away earlier this year. but his music will still live on. Let's see what's next up. Large Professor production this time. I really rate him as a top producer. The way he layers samples just works so well. The fact he's got 3 different samples there on top of each other and then put the drums over that as well. The Kool and the Gang track, heavily sampled track, that one. Hundreds of times that's been used. The drums, different parts of the track. Yeah, real classic one that. And then I just really love the way he's taken 2 different parts of the Michael Jackson track and just used that in there. If you've not checked it already, have a watch of the Rhythm Roulette episode on YouTube with Large Professor. Really good seeing him creating his beats from scratch. So let's check what the next one is.
No love, you get the slug. CB4 gusto, your luck low. I didn't know till I was drunk though. You freak niggas played out, get fucked and ate out.
Great guitar sample there from Sting. It's actually the other guy in that video, Dominic Miller, playing that guitar. He's a guy from Argentina. He's done a lot of work with Sting and worked as a session musician as well as releasing his own stuff as well. Nas track, producers on that, Poke and Tone. Trackmasters is another name that they use. Produced some big tracks. They've worked a lot with Nas, also with other big people, Will Smith especially. Yeah, great track that one. Let's see what's next up.
Kid, I know shit is rough doing your bid. When the cops came, you should have slid to my crib. Fuck it, black, no time for looking back, it's done.
This is why that Illmatic album is such a classic. Look at the producers he's got. Primo, Pete Rock, Large Professor, and now Q-Tip. Really great track that one. Quite a simple sample, straight up loop, but really works well. Heath Brothers, quite obscure, jazz band from Philly, not really been sampled much. This is definitely the most famous use of any of their samples. Another great 90s track by Nas. Let's see what the next one is. Another great production there by Primo. I've shown a full breakdown of this track, exactly how it was chopped, the drums used, everything, in another video. There's a link in the top corner now. If you click on that, you can view it. Really great sample, that one. Compilation that came out in the 70s. The track is much older. It's from a silent movie, so probably around the 1920s when that was actually recorded. Another classic off the Illmatic album. Let's check what the next one is.
Dead end. Don't want, keep out, red light. Dead end. Don't want, keep out, red light.
About to cause mass hysteria.
So that was Nas's very first single back in '92 when he went by the name Nasty Nas. Released before the Illmatic album, it was on the Zebrahead movie soundtrack, that one. Great production again by Large Professor, showing yet again how good he is at layering his samples. The first sample so disguised that he's just used that filter and just turned it into a bass line, and then 2 different horns that he's used over the top of it. Absolutely brilliant track, that one. Really, really classic 90s. Let's check what the next one is.
Smoking weed in the street without cops harassing. Imagine going to court with no trial. Lifestyle cruising blue Bahama waters. No welfare trooping out of state for a plate. Knowledge, if coke was cooked without the garbage, we'd all have the top dollar. Opening eyes to the lies, history's told foul, but I'm as wise as the old owl. Plus the gold child. I rule the world. I rule the world. Imagine that.
See if you can spot the deliberate mistake on screen there. 96 that came out, not 94 as I've listed it. Ah well. Poke and Tone production again. Now on this one, everything's been replayed. Very, very close to the original, but if you listen carefully, it's definitely been replayed. Copying 2 classic 80s tracks, Whodini and Kool Moe Dee. The Kool Moe Dee one, just on Lauryn Hill's vocals, she's just singing very, very similar lyrics and melody. Bit more commercial track, that one, but still another great 90s track from Nas. Let's see what the next one is. Another great track produced by Primo. Straight up loop this time, so nothing chopped up, but it works really well. The 2 scratch lines over the top as well, for Marley Marl and Craig G and Biz Markie, both tracks from the 80s. Yeah, nice track that one. Let's see what the next one is. Poke and Tone production again. So this one, the main music is from Linda Clifford, but then the vocals and melody are based on the Eurythmics track. Now because of that, Annie Lennox and Dave Stewart have both got the writing credits on that track, because it is so strongly based on their Sweet Dreams. Strangely, no mention of Linda Clifford on that one, so I'm not sure what happened with that sample as far as clearance. All I can say is, the Eurythmics have got the writing credit for that particular Nas track. You probably recognise that sample from the Linda Clifford as well, All Eyes on Me by Tupac, exactly the same sample that they've used. So, let's see what the next track is.
Keep it, cause it's the best secret. I rock a vest, prestigious Cuban link.
The Fantastic Four, quite an obscure soul group from Detroit. Done 6 albums in total, mostly during the 70s, but they have done 1 more recently. Nas track produced by Live Squad. They have done some of their own stuff, but mostly they're known for producing Tupac tracks. Yeah, nice track that one, off the It Was Written album. Let's check what the next one is.
Sell me, throw me away, niggas just don't give a fuck about a nigga like me, right? Cold nights and bloody days, they grab me in bullet spray, they use me wrong, so I sing this song to this day.
Primo and Nas again. I like the way a lot of the productions that Primo does, he'll use 1 sample at the beginning of a track and then completely change it into something different for the rest of it. This is a good example of him doing that. Another sample from my favourite, Ahmad Jamal. Another piano with some strings behind it. Works really well, that one. Great track from the 90s. So I think in this shorter video today, we've checked some really good examples of sampling from the 90s for some great Nas tracks. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you want to see more. If you join up as a member to my channel, you'll get all 6 of my albums for free, as well as exclusive members only videos with just the samples playing. And if you want to hire me as a scratch DJ or to create any custom acapellas or instrumentals for you, click the link in description. And as always, thanks for watching.